Get sleepy later. Okay, so I continue the relationship with the heavenly parent, true parent. But before I continue, I just double check the content we learned. Couple of points. So many members, including the first gen, thought, oh, God was from the beginning heavenly parent. No. Through the first human ancestors, first true human ancestors. Human ancestors were Adam and Eve. But true human ancestors are, who are they? Who? True parents. Through the true parents, through the first true human ancestors, God could appear as Heavenly Father and Heavenly Mother. How? Through their bodies, God could create the lineage. Right? And other point, God created human beings not to see us, to take bodies, right? And also, divine principle just mentioned creativity or subjectivity. All of us has internal attributes like God. This is perfect, itself perfect, not mature yet. So through having this external attribute in the relationship of object, you can become perfect. And when you have this attribute, this is called original nature of creation, but this is the divine nature in God. Once you mature this level, God can dwell in you. Why? Give and take. Have a 相対基準。Reciprocal before or common base. You can have a common base. If you are self-centered, God can dwell in you. If you have this nature, you are resembling God. So you can resonate God in heart. In that sense, God can dwell in you. Otherwise, if you are self-centered, God can come to dwell in you. So when you have this, you always try to have a four-portion foundation anywhere, with anyone. So externally, God can dwell in that foundation. And internally, if you have this nature, God can dwell in you. So by having this nature, God is always with you. Okay? And also I asked, what do you believe? And some said, the divine principle. Divine principle is not something to believe. Divine principle is something to understand. Some also said that three great blessings. Three great blessings is not something to believe, but something to realize. What do we believe? We believe this relationship between heavenly parent and true parent, relationship between father and mother. Why? We want to be so. We want to copy that. Right? Okay, so before I continue, please share what you learned today, this morning, with your group. Okay? Please share what you learned.
So then in order for
that the aspect of that
I don't know. I feel like in order to practice loving God, you have to have like a peace and sustained love. So I thought, at first I didn't understand it, now I do. And like it makes sense. I don't know how to explain it, but like the feeling that I have. Let's see. Actually, not really.
God, maybe
Instead of like trying to see,
Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute.
That's why the big issue is that you can't realize
Oh, but I did understand, I think it was like, with what God is like, it's like reverse, which is plus and minus in your original interpretation. That kind of makes sense, yeah. Like when I heard that, I was like, yeah, that is true. But then, the first thing that came to mind was like, anyways,
Well, the main point that I go back to, or
you know, it's like original masculinity, internal nature,
Which is what they
original
originally-
masculinity, external,
Because-
and then it comes to.
Okay, so thank you. Okay, so now this lecture, I'm gonna discuss this achievement of by whom? Heavenly Parent and True Parent. Actually, the Creator and True Parent. This achievement, I'm gonna discuss this achievement from the perspective of the realization of joy of the creators. And this is the biblical verses. These are the biblical verses from which we say this, the three great blessings. Actually, don't think this way. Oh, Father read the divine Bible and he found out the three great blessings. That's a wrong understanding. Father understood the three great blessings through his communication with God through Jesus, and also by observing the nature. And if he quote from the Bible for this concept, this is it. Okay, he didn't understand the Bible principle. He didn't find out the truth or the content of the principle by reading the Bible. Of course, when it comes to the restoration of the history of Christianity and Judaism, of course, based on the Bible, but principle of creation is not from the understanding of the Bible. Okay, three great blessings. Can you explain? We often say God created human beings to feel joy, right? Then through these three stages, how can God feel joy?
Common base.
Huh?
Common base.
What did you say?
Common base. Common base.
Common base, okay. But very vague.
Give and take.
Huh? Give and take? Give and take action with whom?
An object partner.
Huh? Object partner. Okay, we have three stages. What's the question? Question is, God created human beings to feel joy. And we say three great blessings. So when it comes to the completion of the three great blessings, how God's joy can be realized. Or in other words, how God can feel joy.
Through fulfilling the three blessings, you reach true parents.
What did you say?
You reach true parents through fulfilling the three great blessings.
Okay, for God.
Yeah.
So for example, this, how do you explain?
How That,
Okay, we know God, how can God be joyful? This stage, this stage, this stage. You understand my question?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
The first stage, you can feel joy because you better reflect his image. Well, I guess all three stages, huh?
Okay, how about second one?
The second one, you're uniting with this other guy.
Huh?
Like you're uniting with the feminine side of God, in my case. So that brings me joy because it's
So who is uniting? Who is feeling joy?
like the ideal man and the ideal woman.
Oh, ideal man and ideal woman.
For the second
Woman are they uniting?
Yeah.
So how God can feel joy?
because you better reflect his image.
Huh?
children.
Children. Well, by Adam and Eva, by the fact that Adam and Eva came to have children, that's why God feels joy.
Having family centered on God,
Centering on God.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
bringing God's love in everything you do.
And then that's a joy to God. How about this? Let's say, this is establish a company doing business, or fishing, golfing, playing volleyball, all kinds of activities, right? So we've been teaching and understanding, centering on God, as you said, centering on God. But centering on God, what does it mean? More precisely, this is my question. For example, the divine principle says this, please read.
There is no doubt that God would have felt the greatest joy when seeing his sons and daughters rejoice in the world of his identity.
It says, actually, divine principle, by seeing, right? By seeing his children, God could feel joy. So all the first gen, including the second gen, tend to think God created human beings to feel joy by seeing them. But I said no. This is the old style. The worst case is this, the unification thought. Please read.
The purpose of creation is the purpose of God, the Creator, to seek joy. And the purpose for being created is the purpose of human beings to return joy to God.
This is beautifully said, but I heard from one atheist. He really hates this statement, saying God is self-centered. God is seeking for just his only joy. What do you think? It's true, right? And also, one of the missionaries who came to Vancouver said, she had question about this. By seeing us, God feel joy. So, none of you were blessed, right? Okay. So when you become husband and wife, at night you do something, right? As a husband and wife. By seeing them, God feel joy. You laugh, right? So it's very strange. We are God. Another question. When I was younger, I really like play soccer. When I play soccer, I never thought God's joy. When you played volleyball, have you thought about God's joy? That's strange. So this and this doesn't match. We just follow the logic, maybe, okay. But if you really think about how are God's joy and human joy related, I already gave you a hint. God created human beings for what? What did I say? Not by seeing them, but what did I say?
Living in our bodies.
Huh?
Living in our bodies.
Assuming bodies, right? Assuming bodies. You have to go further with that idea, understanding. Now, before I explain that, Maybe, especially in the English divine principle, it's not clear. But completion of God's purpose of creation, realization of God's ideal of creation are different. I need to start explain from here. Let's say, purpose and ideal. What do you think? What is the difference? Purpose. This is my purpose. This is my ideal. What could be the difference? Of course, according to the dictionary, you could say all kinds of explanation, but I'm explaining according to true parents, their terminology. But before I reveal that, what is the impression? What is the difference between the purpose and an ideal? Please share your ideas. I'm going to let you think, okay, before I give you the answer. What is the difference between the purpose?
Are you asking difference in definition?
Difference. Well, you would like, if you want, you can give a definition, but I'm focused on the difference. You could feel something different, right? But
when you eat, you think of God first.
no discussion in this group. Please think.
We always all our activities. That way we can always enjoy more of them.
It's so hard. Like the idea of creation that God intended.
It's not hot? Okay? Any ideas to share? Anyone? No one? Okay, go ahead.
We were discussing that maybe purpose of creation is like if you have like a blueprint for something, like the
Which one?
Purpose.
Okay.
Like you have like the idea for something, like the blueprint of a house, and like the ideal is like the completed project of the blueprint.
Okay, purpose is?
The blueprint.
And ideal is?
The completed thing, like the house.
The actual thing.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay. Go ahead.
The purpose is like the reason behind why he created, right? And the ideal would be how he wants the creation to turn out to be.
Okay, by the way, I'm going to share what Father defined. Okay? So you can have all kinds of ideas, but to clarify God's joy, the relation with God's joy and human's joy, and how God's joy is realized. For that purpose, I'm sharing the definition of true parent, of this terminology. So according to true parent, purpose belongs to individual. For example, I wanted to become a doctor, ideal, so that I can make money to help other people. So purpose can be realized by individual. Ideal can take place with others. Okay? This is not a dictionary from the dictionary. This is the definition of true parent. Purpose and ideal. Okay. Then I'm going to talk about completion of the purpose of creation and the realization of the ideal of creation. Father distinguished these two. Okay, please bear with me. Let's read Father's words. This is something new, and you need to understand this. Go ahead.
God's purpose and ideal are different. God's purpose is to deal with each one of you, but the realization of the ideal is not focused solely on the individual. God's ideal will be realized when harmonious environments for unity take place.
Next one.
After the completion of the purpose of creation comes the realization of the ideal of creation.
Another one.
When it comes to the purpose of creation, a man has a purpose of creation, and a woman has a purpose of creation. But the term ideal doesn't relate to individual. What happens when the purpose of creation is completed is the realization of the ideal of creation.
Now, forget this content. When you ask what is God's purpose of creation, then what will be your answer?
Bring the greatest joy.
Bring joy to God.
To feel joy, right? Usually you say to feel joy. To feel joy. But if you read this, that's not a correct answer. Father in 70s clarified what the purpose of creation is. Individual perfection. Something wrong, because I'm talking about God's purpose of creation. And I end up saying, my individual perfection. Okay? I'm talking about God's purpose of creation, but Father said, it's your individual perfection. I'm getting close to the answer now. So, completion of the purpose of creation is the individual perfection. You never heard this, right? You just thought purpose of creation maybe for God to feel joy. Wrong. Forget it. God's purpose of creation is my individual perfection. Can you relate these two? God's purpose of creation is my individual perfection. Actually, the divine principle repeatedly explain this point. By the way, those who read the divine from the beginning to the end, at least once, please raise your hand. Oh, please read the divine. Oh, Mother said don't read. But anyhow. Okay, so I picked up some sentences which prove the divine principle understand the purpose of creation is one's individual perfection. Okay, please read. Go ahead.
If and when the mind stands as an object partner before God and revolves around Him, resonating in oneness with Him, and when the body becomes one with this mind, the individual will resemble God's dual characteristics, and thus stand as God's embodied object partner. Therefore, the person fulfills the purpose of creation.
Fulfill the purpose of creation. See, it's explained individual perfection. Go ahead.
A person who has realized the purpose of creation does not commit sin because he is in full harmony with God and possesses a divine.
Purpose of creation doesn't mention to return joy to God. It says your individual perfection. Go ahead.
With respect to the purpose of creation, a fully mature person is perfect as God is perfect. Having the same divine nature as God, he is infinitely precious.
This is talking about how precious human is when he or she complete the purpose of creation. Read, please.
An original ideal person is one with God and has realized a divine nature. Thus, with reference to the purpose of creation, he is perfect as God is perfect.
Go ahead.
The person who completed the purpose of creation is a temple of God, in whom God can dwell continually and comes to possess a divine nature.
Very important. How can you reach individual perfection? When God dwells in you and possesses the divine nature, which is the original nature of creation, that is the standard. Okay, go ahead.
A person who has perfected his individual character embodies total goodness and fulfills the purpose of creation.
Okay. So, as of now, we thought the purpose of the creation is to return joy to God. But if you carefully read Father's words, It's individual perfection. What does it mean? When divine nature, God come to dwell in you, you come to have that nature, which is original nature of creation. This means individual perfection for us. Then for God, what did I say? What was the purpose for God to create human beings? What? Huh? To assume bodies, right? To have bodies. That's why God's purpose of creation, what is the purpose creating human beings? To have bodies. How? When we become mature, came to have such divine nature, we have common base. Through the resonance of heart, God can dwell in us so that we become holy and God can feel joy through us. So, God's joy is equal to my joy. When I play soccer and when I feel joy, that's God's joy. Ultimate joy. So, when we talk about God's purpose of creation, ends up talking about my individual perfection. This is correct. When we reach the individual perfection for God, God came to assume my body. This is purpose of creation. And actually, our teachings are consistent with this idea. From Mother to the first principle book, which was published in 1952. Please read from the top to the bottom.
God created human beings as God's bodies. Adam and Eve should have become God's bodies. God's creation means to create God's body. God could have appeared through Adam and Eve. Human being created as God's bodies. Human beings as holy temples where God dwells. Human beings, special creatures as God's bodies. God created human beings as God's bodies.
So, this is new understanding. Please remember, this was the old idea. Purpose of creation for God, assuming bodies. For me, individual perfection. Then how? I already explained. Oneness. This is what True Mother have taught us in the past 12 years. You remember? And actually, the Divine Principle explained this already, very logically. Please read.
Desiring to realize his original value, a person responds to the perfect emotion, perfect intellect, and perfect will of God through his mind and acts accordingly through his body. When the body responds to the mind's emotion, intellect, and will, its actions pursue the values of beauty, truth, and goodness respectively.
And this translation is wrong. And the part of respond should be resonate. 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 You remember in the morning I explained Christianity couldn't figure it out. The relationship between Father, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. We have the terminology. Through the resonance of heart. Same vibration, same frequency. God can dwell in us. And Father revealed a new terminology back in 2011. 공명정, resonance in heart. Please remember, through this, God can dwell in us. Through this, you can be one with others. Please read.
How can God and human beings be united with each other? God and human beings are to be able to be united with each other through resonating in heart. The spirit world and the physical world must be united in the sphere of the resonating heart. The world of Jom, heart, love, or emotion, starts from one point, which is the heavenly heart. That must be connected to the whole, which is human beings and all other creatures.
Mother again genius athlete, she cannot logically explain. She just said, be one with God. That's enough for her. And she doesn't understand why you don't get it. That's mother. But father, he starts from the bottom and realize his relationship with God in the end by being one with Jesus. So he can linguistically explain that. Scientifically speaking, everything is in vibration, right? Vibration. One example, my wife did this experiment for Sunday service kids. This is boiled cooked rice, put in the bottle, on the lid, she wrote love, hate, and nothing, and left these for 3 weeks. See the difference? Just written words have great impact on the rice. Why? The term love has been used with lovely emotions for long history. So it has own frequency. It has own vibration, which affect the other. When you doubt the power of prayers, please recall this photo. Written words, just the written words have impact. By the way, Dr. Kyung Kim always says, the opposite of act of loving, neglect. Neglect, worst case. Please read.
I believe the vibrational waves mediate the incorporeal and corporeal world.
Maybe you don't understand this, but I do. I did energy healing, learned from this Chinese doctor. He is in Boston. He acupuncture he was doing. And one day, he used up all needles. And one patient came late. And he said, he drew the human body, and he used needle. This and this and this and this, then you'll be cured. And actually, by doing that, she was cured. And since then, he developed new way without touching patient's body. Just, the meridian point, right? The top with the hammer, that's it. And great result he found out. Every week, he's teaching people free. And because of the result, many are still learning. And I did it. I bought a kit and I bought a book to study and cured some people. For example, I'm in Vancouver and I found one of the breast wife in Toronto, which means 5-hour flight. She had a skin problem for 20 years. So I learned the meridian point, and 30 minutes for 2 weeks, she was cured. She was cured. 5-hour flight. I was convinced frequency, vibrations transcend time and space. That's why prayers work. I did another successful case, the second gen in Korea. Korea from Vancouver, 10-hour flight. He had atopy problem. He was not cured enough, 100%, but to some degree. I stopped because I didn't have time. 2 weeks I did. And he, on the phone, I'm going to start now, be relaxed, not doing nothing. And he said, I feel vibration, he said. The vibration transcends time and space. So I changed my method. I stopped using this. And I just use my hand. And thinking this is the human body, and this is the meridian point. I just tapped, and it worked. Please read.
All actions from the spirit world come through vibration.
So many people start saying vibrations of frequency, but it is only Father who clarified how invisible creator can dwell in people, human beings. Christianity couldn't figure out. That's why Jesus is God, God is Jesus, but they are not one. They are different. Heavenly Father and Jesus are different. and both are God. So they couldn't figure out why Jesus became God and human beings. Father explained that point. The Creator dwells in our mind through resonance. Empowered mind can resonate with body, and mind become one with body. So this is the individual perfection. Now, responsibility as human ancestors. What was the responsibility of Adam and Eve? If you are asked, what would be your answer?
Follow the commandments.
Huh?
Follow the commandments of God.
Follow the?
The commandment of God.
Follow the commandment. Not perfect.
Individual perfection.
Huh?
Individual perfection.
Who said that? No, you shouldn't say that. Yes. Individual perfection. Did you know that? Individual perfection is human's portion of responsibility. But many people think this way. Not eating the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, or returning joy to God, or completing the three great blessings. Many of members say this. This is wrong. Wrong. For example, Adelina was blessed with a wonderful gentleman this year, last year, right? Okay, married. That's a responsibility. The third blessing, let's talk about the third blessing. I like playing soccer, or fishing, golfing. To fulfill your responsibility? No, right? Of course, to play soccer, to play golf, of course some responsibility always come along. But the responsibility as human ancestors, I'm not talking about that kind of a responsibility. Completing the three great blessings, this is not the correct answer. Actually, Mother has been explaining this in the past 12 years like this. Please read.
The Creator bestowed a special responsibility upon Adam and Eve. They must achieve individual perfection by becoming one with the Creator.
Now, for Mother, person like from heaven, when she says this, she expects all of us clearly understand, but we don't. And she understands. She doesn't understand why. But it seems we don't understand, so she continued to say this in the past 12 years. But when I ask you, what is the responsibility of Adam and Eve? You couldn't answer. You heard this many times from True Mother. That's why we need the help of the Father's words and divine principle. This is too high, too high. You know, the famous soccer player, Messi, if Messi says, you need to kick the ball with your soul and heart, that's enough for him. But we don't get it, right? Regular players, we don't get it. Like that, for Mother, this is enough. But it's too high. So I'm going to explain this with the help of the divine principle of Father's words. Please read.
Such people are fully attuned to God and experience God's heart within their innermost self. They possess a divine nature and live their life with God.
Father said, please read.
The realm of fulfilling one's responsibility refers to the unity of mind and body.
And divine principle says,
In order for an individual to perfect his character, his mind and body become one.
Mother said, God gave Adam and Eve a special responsibility. What is that? To be one with the Creator. That's enough for her. Why? She did it exactly in her growing period. She didn't need any edification. When you are one with the Creator, through the resonance of heart, the divine nature came to dwell in you. You come to possess divine nature. Empowered mind can dominate body so that you can reach individual perfection. That's what she meant. So she said, be one with the Creator, you can reach individual perfection. This is what she said in the past 12 years. But every time when I have English workshop, Japanese workshop, Korean workshop, I give you the same question. Almost no one can answer. Even True Mother has taught us in the past 12 years. So what is the human portion of responsibility? Be one with the Creator so that we can reach the individual perfection. In the divine principle, there's a blessing terminology. Spirit self consists of spirit body and spirit mind. Especially spirit mind is the place where Heavenly Parent dwells. Wow! How? Father added the explanation through 공명정, resonance in heart. If you are self-centered, God cannot find a place to dwell in. Therefore, many religions talk about human soul, human spirit. But Father said, they don't have this concept. This concept. It is only Family Federation teaching. Okay? They don't have this concept. Human's mind is the place where God can dwell. Why they don't have such ideas? Because they have no idea about the purpose of creation. So, Mother said, becoming one with Heavenly Parent is human's portion of responsibility. This is an explanation of genius athlete. We need help of Father. Father said, so that you can complete the original nature of creation. This means the individual perfection, and this is actually completion of the purpose of creation. God became successful making human beings. すいません。ありがとうございます。忘れてました。ちょうどよかった。ありがとうございます。So, why this understanding is so important? Why important? So important. Christianity, as some of you said today, right? Jesus was victorious because, please read.
In the position of a human, Jesus took on the sins of humanity, sacrificed himself, and atoned for them.
This is so-called Jesus' victory, right? Christianity believe this. No, we don't believe this. What point Jesus is victorious? Exactly this one. In the divine principle says this, please read.
Jesus is a man who has fulfilled the purpose of creation.
What kind of value who fulfill the purpose of creation has? Please read.
Divine value, unique value, and cosmic value.
So we've said in the past, Jesus failed. Jesus failed. Yes, Jesus couldn't become the true parent. But as an individual, he fulfilled his portion of responsibility. This is so important. In Japan, ascetic monks practice their own death by adhering to a wood-eating diet. They were then buried alive in a pine wood box full of salt connected by a tube for air, and would ring a bell signaling they were still alive. When the bell stopped ringing, the air tube would be removed. After several years later, the body was taken out to be dry. Why did they practice this? They wanted to reach individual perfection, killing their physical desire. Unfortunately, they worship this body as God. Japan actually banned this practice in 1897. 1897. That much they were serious. How to reach the individual perfection? How we can do that? As I explained, by having God dwelling in us. we can reach individual perfection, and God can take our body. As I said, those who reached individual perfection, like Jesus and Mother said this. Please read in the top.
Whoever has seen me has seen the Father.
Again, this is not a theological statement. Here, from here, feeling God's existence here within. When Mother said this, please read.
I am the embodiment of the Holy Spirit.
Some who didn't understand Mother, oh, Mother is arrogant. No, she's talking from here. What does it mean? Holy Spirit. Female side of God, right? Female aspect of God. So their statements so corresponding each other. Furthermore, Mother said, seeing true parent, seeing true heavenly parent. For Father, who became one with God through Jesus, said this. Please read.
Jesus is a man in whom God is incarnate, but he is not God himself. The dwelling of God within Jesus was an absolute reality. This is a fully attainable goal of everyone.
Because Father did, by being one with Jesus. Mother doesn't explain this way. Because she, in her growing period, she became one with God directly as the only begotten daughter. So, volume 1, which was published in 1952, it says, 성분별의 시작부터 개성 완성으로. What does it mean? Beginning with the separation of the sexes. God's attribute is just latent, potential, right? That's why by making human beings, God tried to dwell in them, separating his attribute to man and woman, and moving towards individual perfection. When they mature, corresponding to God, God can dwell each man and woman. This is God's purpose for creation. So, first blessing for God, assuming bodies. For humans, individual perfection. How? Perfect resonance with heavenly parent in heart. This is human's portion of responsibility, and this is so-called the completion of God's purpose of creation. Then, this implies second and third blessing are not human's portion of responsibility. To enjoy those two stages. For example, maybe you have participated in the education with a blessing, right? But do you think Mother participated blessing education seminar before she was blessed with Father? No. Why? No. Why? Doesn't have to. When you reach the individual perfection, God dwells in her. She just live accordingly. She can become mother, grandma, or because she can become, of course, wife. Now, let's talk about realization of the idea of creation. Please read.
Then what will happen? God enters into Adam and Eve's heart, and they become a married couple. Have you ever heard of such a thing? This is how God entered Adam and Eve's heart. What was a son born there because God came in and became a married couple? To become a direct son. So
this is the second blessing, right? How about another stage? Please read.
God blessed us to completely rule and conquer the universe. But Adam is not in control. God entered Adam's heart and took control.
See? We are talking about the third blessing. When I'm playing and enjoying soccer, God is enjoying through me. Please read. Original text, please, which is part 1952. More direct explanation. Please read.
The owner of all things is God. God's making Adam and Eve as the owner of all things truly means they are the extension of God. Therefore, the fundamental significance of creating human beings is to have the bodies of God, namely Thus, God's creation means that God directly dominates heaven and earth. It is human beings that are the embodiment of God, which are the owners of all things.
The third blessing, dominion over the whole world. We thought, oh, human beings are doing. No. Through human beings, God is enjoying it. So, second blessing, enjoying love relationship. Third blessing, enjoying the dominion over the natural world. These are the realization of God's idea of creation. I said this is not the human's portion of responsibility. But there is a one terminology in the divine principle you can find in place of human's portion of responsibility. Anyone can guess what was the terminology? What is the terminology here? Realm of direct dominion. I don't read this. You can find in the divine principle God's direct dominion over human beings, the second blessing. This is the third blessing. What does it mean? Of course, to have family, you need to be self-sufficient. You have to work hard. You have to love each other. When you do business to become successful, it comes along a lot of responsibilities. But when we talk about human's portion of responsibility, we are not talking about that kind of horizontal responsibilities. Human's portion of responsibility is this. So, when you say, my family has problem. Yes, everyone has problem. You established a company, but it became bankrupted. Or God is not with me. Even God is with you, it could be bankrupted. What does it mean? And the second or third blessing, if you are not sure or if you are not confident enough, please understand if you are doing your portion of responsibility, which means you are one with God or not. This is a fundamental issue. Then all the rest, enjoy it, suffer it, together with God. That's life. Japanese comedian Sanma, no one knows? He made millions of dollars. And recently there was a famous interview. Interviewer heard a rumor and asked him, I heard you will give all the money you have to the nation, return the money to the nation, and you never leave a penny to your daughter. Is it true? He said, yes. Why? He said, when I was young, no penny. Tomorrow, how can I survive? That's important to enjoy. So I want my daughter to enjoy life. So he doesn't want a penny to his daughter. Okay? That's actually a true person who can enjoy life. Second, third blessing, always we have problems. It doesn't mean God is not with you. God is with you if you are always sticking to this point. Human's portion of responsibility is this one. And then sometimes you become self-centered in the second or third level. So if you feel something lacking, please go back to the origin. Here. This is your responsibility. As of now, we understand vaguely centering on God, first, second, third blessing can be realized. But now, please remember this is the true meaning of the three great blessings. Okay? Can you read? Okay. The first blessing is, read.
Completion of the purpose of creation.
For human beings, that means
Individual perfection.
for God,
The Creator comes to assume human body.
so God is ready now, ready to enjoy life. So second, third blessing means,
Realization of the ideal of creation.
and the second blessing means
God's direct dominion over human beings.
direct dominion. Direct dominion. If you are one with God, God will work on you. Which means,
The Creator experiences the four realms of heart and love through human beings.
and the third blessing means,
Dominion over all things.
this is,
Human beings direct dominion over all things.
this means,
The Creator enjoys the dominion over all things through human beings, the second Creator.
all right. That's why Father said, the realm of the direct dominion means those of substance. What does it mean? Which means God has now bodies. God can enjoy substantial joy through us. Okay, so what you learn, please share with your group in 5 minutes. If you don't understand, listen carefully to others so you understand more.
Everything in life is a vibration. Frequency transcends time and space. Vibration. You feel it. You feel the vibration.
I think it's similar to what you said, or I'm trying to process it, but I agree because there was
That's why I wrote my back.
Yeah, just say like, creation because of individual perfection? I'm like, it makes sense. Yeah, but when people ask us that question, you can. Like, I just told guests, like, yeah, the purpose of creation. We're doing right back to God. That's like what, like, you know, like pastors say, or like, or is it like Sunday school was to ask? That's interesting. Like, I read first passages. It doesn't like, you know, it's not like an answer to that question when people ask you, so it's.
It's like more like individual specialized, it's not like like
Okay. 자, look at this diagram. So you are now single. All of you are single yet. But when you are married and blessed, and when you are involved in the second or third blessing, you always need to be aware if God is within you. How can it be possible on practical level? Just follow your inner voice. Inner voice. Inner voice. If you are really sensitive, then you can hear a voice, even God, within. If you cannot hear, just be calm. Try to become pure water, as Mother said, and try to listen to your voice, original mind. Then that means you are following God. Okay? It's the most important. Neglecting your inner voice, even you pray hard at the Chonshima, it doesn't make sense. First thing is to follow your inner voice. If you cannot hear, try to listen to them. And if you hear it, behave accordingly. That's the way we for God to be with us. Okay, inner voice. My Father once said, please attend to your mind. Attend to your mind. Why? Where God dwells. If you neglect your inner voice, you cannot find God in other place. God is here. God is here. So always inner voice. Try to listen to inner voice. If you, I need to go to kitchen, go there. Somebody's waiting for you. I want to pray now. Go and pray. Just follow. Then amazingly, many things will happen. And you feel guidance of Heavenly Parent. You feel, I am under the direct dominion of God. If you have a problem, don't get discouraged. That's life. Enjoy it, suffer it with God. Yes. This is how Father and Divine Principle explains. Mother, as a genius athlete, very simple way, she said. Please read.
God has a purpose and an ideal in creation.
That's it. So you need to hear this. Okay, no further deep meaning, right? But regarding the purpose, the word in yellow, she said, please read.
In the beginning, God intended to dwell in them.
For Mother, she believed this is enough for you to understand. Now, ideal, please read.
God, who is incorporeal, sought to advance to the position of true parents through a perfected human ancestor capable of governing the corporeal world. So, when Adam and Eve become perfect, God can dwell in them. They become parents, and through them, God wanted to govern the whole world. Father, Mother are saying the same thing. What are the key? True parents. Okay, now let's read before the break. This is the last slide. Let's read Mother's words, which we read in the beginning. Please read. I have been saying,
By the way, now you understand more clearly what she is saying. Please read.
I have been saying we need to know the truth about God, the Creator. God created Adam and Eve and gave them a growing period. Within the given time, Adam and Eve must grow in absolute oneness with God. God is incorporeal. God has no body. So, God's dream is to create humans and bless them on the day they have grown up so that God can become the true parent of humankind. In other words, God's dream is to become the ancestor of humankind, to have children and love them.
See, she explained everything, which I explained for 2 hours. That's why she's spontaneous. She's genius. I mean, she's natural. This is not something she learned. This is something she realized naturally, spontaneously in her growing period. That is the difference from father, mother, and us. This is the final slide. This logo contains everything. By the way, I have a question. Usually, when you stand, the guy is supposed to stand on the right side, right? Yeah. How come? Anyone? 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 Go ahead.
From our perspective, he's on the right.
Look. Hey. God's ideal creation, mother said, to become parent of humankind, right? This is symbolized invisible creator. Become parent, right? Manse. Okay. So this is not for children. This is not for children. True parents, let's say in our church, first gen, second gen. Okay? Mother said, please read.
What is the Creator's wish? It is to become the true parent of humanity.
I said in the beginning, I said in the beginning, no, you have to. Okay, stop. I said in the beginning, the essence, this words in yellow, contain the essence true parent theology. What is the Creator's wish? To become the true parent of humanity. That's it. And they did. And more precisely, she explained this way. But in one sentence, to become the parent of humanity. This is what she's taught us in the past 12 years. Okay, so this is the conclusion of the first part. Let's have a 10-minute break. And I'm going to go to the second part, the true parent and I. Okay, thank you.